Welcome back to the Schlocky Horror Picture Show and Phantom from Space. At the beginning of the show, I established director Willie Wilder's place in the cinematic universe. Even his own brother Billy described him as a dull son of a bitch. But what of the other talents involved? I'll warn you now, they're few and far between. Tonight's two lead actors, Ted Cooper and Tom Daly, found equal amounts of fame and fortune, which is a nice way to say that Phantom from Space represents the career high point for both of them. Ted appeared uncredited in about 15 films, while Tom mostly played unnamed authority figures. He was very good at looking stern. Harry Landers, who plays Lieutenant Bowers, fared a little better in the acting stakes. Harry is best known in the USA as the spokesman for Nescafe coffee and TV commercials dating back to the 60s, but you might recognise him from the medical drama Ben Casey, in which he had a regular role as the good doctor's sidekick. He also had a small role in the Alfred Hitchcock film Rear Window, but that's about as good as it got for Harry. Working our way up the thespian food chain, we come to Jim Bannon, who plays the police sergeant imaginatively named Jim Bannon. Jim was a regular in Hollywood westerns during the 40s and 50s and is probably best remembered as the cowboy hero Red Ryder from 1949. Switching to television, he appeared in westerns like Mackenzie's Raiders, Tales of Wells Fargo, Lassie, and Sea Hunt. He was lucky enough to become the first husband of Bea Benaderet, Jethro Clampett's mother in the Beverly Hillbillies and the voice of Betty Rubble in the Flintstones. Now that I think about it, that's probably what killed him. Overdosed on Benaderet. Rudolph Anders, who plays Dr. Wyatt, was a German character actor who began making films under the name Rudolph Arment. He moved to Hollywood in the early 30s when that evil vegetarian Adolf Hitler came to power. In 1938, he changed his name again to the less Germanic Robert Davis and stuck with it throughout World War II, playing various Nazis. But because of his small stature and soft voice, he didn't make a terribly convincing villain. After the war, he changed his name back to Rudolph Anders and appeared in almost 100 American films until his retirement in 1968, including The Great Dictator, To Be or Not to Be, Spy Smasher, A Star is Born, The Snow Creature, and Frankenstein 1970, which, despite the title, was made in 1958. Possibly the most interesting name involved with the making of Phantom from Space is that of Bill Lava, whose name doesn't really describe his nature. The musical Muggins, who worked on the Warner Brothers Looney Tunes and Merry Melody cartoons from 1962 onwards, replacing Milt Franklin. Bill was responsible for music in 11 Roadrunner cartoons on a tiny budget, so only the first one had real scored music. The other 10 used a set of generic musical cues that didn't follow the action closely at all. You'll notice a similarity with tonight's film. He also composed the music for the Pink Panther show, adapting Henry Mancini's themes to closely follow the character action, but the one piece of music that Bill Lava will always be remembered for is the theme from F Troop. Speaking of disorganised chaos, let's get back to Phantom from Space before I start singing the theme song.